say you put 100 fund managers in a room and you probably find one fund manager that comes out. But all of those 99 fund managers are also turning around telling clients that they're the best. So you get into sort of this vicious circle where everyone's either just trying to make lazy fees, management fees for something that they're not really that good at. So it doesn't matter if you look at it at a broad-based sort of personal level or a fund management business, because the same metric applies to them. To the top banks who manage money. I mean, you just look at pension fund returns. I mean, they're shocking. But meanwhile, these are people that are hired, approved, and appointed because of their expertise to do that. So it doesn't matter, I think, at which layer of the pyramid you look at, if it's a fund manager, investment manager, or an individual. I think the same metric applies, that out of 100 people, one of them will come out right. So it doesn't matter if you're doing it in your own capability. It becomes an issue of being able to pick out, if you're doing it for yourself, avoiding the noise, or the lemming effect, I like to call it, of following the crowds. And it also becomes the same effect by being able to drown out the noise, avoid the noise of who is really a good fund manager. And past performance is never a good indication of future performance. So it's making sure right back again, you're back to square one. It's making sure that fund manager, especially if you don't have the time to do it yourself, is focused on what you believe are fundamental to investment needs. We as individuals are too callous and too easy to go, it's something I don't understand, I'm going to give it to someone else. Where, out of 100 fund managers, one of them is going to be right. So we're too easy to go, Investec must be a great band, I've got to give it to them, they've got to do it, or whoever, And I think sort of the emancipation of the investor or the trader is something that I'm a big, big believer in, because I think we all have the ability to do it ourselves. It's just applying your mind to do it correctly. And that's what I think. I think people are lazy inevitably, because they go, well, I've got to save for my retirement. I'm too busy being a chemical engineer or something, so I'll give it to someone. But they don't actually ask the right questions. So they don't go through the process, which is the same process you as an investor make when choosing a fund manager. And that, I think, is something that has to fundamentally change in all of our psyche. It's an illusion, I think, that people think someone is better at that or they're supposed to be trained. I agree with those principles 20 years ago, where you had people, sort of exchanges were, sort of boys' clubs, where people thought, they knew everything and information took so long to get out that you did trust someone in that position. But today's world, really? I mean, we saw the debut of Facebook on our systems before it hit Bloomberg. There was a price on the system. So it all comes down to having a process in place, whether it be an investment approach or any decision really, and that comes to life probably, is doing away with the noise and making sure that what is fundamental to you is what's fundamental to that decision.